Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Crypto legends, how is everybody doing? We're going to analyze the scenario here for Bitcoin. Could we see a massive recovery? Of course, we talked about the extreme bearish case scenario today. We do have Mt. Gox selling their Bitcoin, of course, giving it to the investors, not selling them, but the investors likely to be selling during the next coming weeks as well. And also the German government already sold over 10,000 Bitcoin. Has the selling pressure stopped? That is the question. We need to talk about the technical bullish case scenario because a recovery is definitely a possibility, right? Let's just talk about the massive fear that there is right now in the market. Without a doubt, today's video update has been a little bit clickbaity, all right, saying, you know, the end of the bear market. And that is only if we do cross this level that was mentioned in today's video update, okay? Getting all the way down here to the 618 Fibonacci and crossing that high volume node on the volume profile, okay? Only the market structurally will be broken if it is going to break beneath $48,000. As long as we are above this range, okay, this is still bullish. We do have this possibly being a large corrective structure, being an ABC move. That is still possible. Yesterday, we were talking about the possibility of the price getting a big bounce from the one-to-one extension from this movement to the downside, okay? We're talking about the extension here, Fibonacci. If we do take a look here at the pivot high to this pivot low, to then the next lower high created here on the 7th of June, we can see how we've just hit the one-to-one extension. We did drop slightly beneath it, but now we're getting a little bit of a bounce. So is this it? Are we seeing max fear right now in the market, which is usually very, very good, of course, for a reset of the bullish trend? Without a doubt, this is a scenario that we are taking into consideration, okay? So we're going to do the technical analysis. Bitcoin getting a little bit of a bounce right now, getting a bit of a breakout from a major resistance zone. We are breaking out at the moment here from this level of resistance that we were getting today, okay? We're going to go through the lower time frames and explain some local scenarios. I'm going to go through the comment section, say hello to the community, destroy that like button, guys, if you do enjoy the content. And I'm going to go through the comment section, say hello to that beautiful community that is joining. So yes, I know I got a little bit of hate on today's video based on the title, the thumbnail, the massive fear. However, you know, hey, Mt. Gox is distributing the Bitcoin to all of those investors, right? And likely they are going to be selling as well in the next coming weeks. You're going to see some holders without a doubt. And also German government has been selling over 10,000 Bitcoin already. And we are expecting that selling pressure to continue. Now, there is the German parliament member, Joanna Kota, says government selling Bitcoin is not sensible, urges holding Bitcoin as a strategic reserve currency. So she's in the camp of, hey, we should stop selling this as it is likely going to go up in the future. So will the German government stop selling some of that Bitcoin, or is it just going to sell the 40,000 Bitcoin that it has remaining? So some things to take into consideration. Bitcoin getting a little bit of a nice bounce at the moment. It is breaking up and it's not looking too bad to actually go to higher levels. I will be explaining with the technical analysis, but I also want to explain here the bullish case scenario on the higher time frames, okay? Because overall, the macro bullish trend is still intact, okay? The macro bullish trend is still very much bullish. And we have tested the lows of the range with a significant move down. We've come all the way down, almost hitting sub $53,000. Now we are seeing a little bit of a bounce right now on the price of Bitcoin. So usually when you test lows, all right, and test highs of a major range, you do get a reaction to the other side. So we need to understand that maybe there is a chance of this being the low. Now, for all of those swing traders out there, I think, you know, if you can manage your risk very, very well and you're using small amounts of capital, not going too crazy, this is a range where it's, you know, it's acceptable to build a swing long position. On yesterday's live stream, we talked about the possibility of the price bottoming out at the 1-to-1 extension in this ABC range, right? The 1-to-1 extension hitting slightly beneath $55,000. Okay, so this is where we basically got below. We got a little bit of a bounce today. So could this be the bottom for the price of Bitcoin based on this ABC move, right? It's very three-wavy. It's very corrective compared to the massive move that we had here between January and February. When you compare this price action to this one right over here happening at the beginning of the year, well, obviously, this one is much more impulsive than this large consolidation that we've been having during the last few months, dipping below here, the 1st of May low at $56,000. So it's not about bringing fear in the market. It's just seeing a reality that, hey, 140,000 Bitcoin from Mt. Gox being distributed to the investors. Yeah, a lot of those people are going to sell. However, we're still very much in a bullish market structure on the higher time frame. German government, they've already sold 10,000 Bitcoin. Are they going to be selling much more? Potentially they are not, right? So we always need to take a look at the bearish, extreme bearish case scenario, and we need to take a look at the bullish case scenario as well, okay? We take a look at both scenarios, and in today's morning update and also yesterday's update, we talked about the extreme bearish case scenario, right? But the bullish case scenario is still intact, which is basically looking at the bottom of the bear market at basically $15,500 in November of 2022, just after the C19 crash, after the FTX collapse. And we can see how we formed some really nice bullish structure here. When we talk about the bullish case scenario, we have formed 3 waves. And now the pure speculation is that we are in the 4th wave, meaning that we're likely going to form that 5th wave in the next coming weeks and months, right? Because obviously it's taken round about, what is it right now, since March to June, about 4 months of a corrective structure. So it will take many months as well to form that 5th wave, right? Whether it breaks here and goes to $80K or $100,000 plus. Okay, so yeah, without a doubt, there is this bullish count. We mentioned the bearish case scenario, this being an ABC inside of a B wave of a much larger structure. This only could happen if we start seeing a huge, massive recession. It is only possible, in my personal opinion, that Bitcoin can drop down as low as $20,000 if we do get a big recession, okay, and stock market crash. And obviously, Bitcoin and risk-on assets also going to be crashing very aggressively. Like mentioned on the previous videos as well, we could be kicking the can down the road. We do have a liquidity cycle right now. The Federal Reserve will be printing money. There will be liquidity printed in the market and saving potentially this recession that could happen, right? Maybe we're going to kick the can down the road, and maybe that recession is going to happen in 2026 or 2027, right? We're not here to predict when there is a recession going to be. We do know that it's likely going to come at some stage. So let's go right away, say hello to the beautiful community, and we're going to go through this bullish case scenario as well. And the bearish case scenario is, hey, if this were to be a wave 3 right now, we should be pushing very aggressively, okay? This moment that we've broken beneath the first wave should be pushing down quite aggressively, all right, in the next coming days and weeks. If that is not the case, and we do recover above that low, which we are pretty close to right now, okay, we might just tap it and then roll back down. But if we do start breaking through here, $60,000, $61,000 with some pretty nice momentum and volume, breaking lower high resistance trend line, then obviously that will be a clear sign of strength for the price to continue to the upside in the next coming months. Now, that is not the case just yet, but if you are leaning in a bullish case scenario, without a doubt, for those people that want to attempt a swing trade long position, without a doubt, you can consider here this range to long to the all-time highs for the next coming weeks and months, right? Without a doubt, it's definitely a scenario, putting your stop loss here well below that point of control. Low leverage, low capital for all of those people that believe that this has already ended, the FUD has ended, and this is bottoming out here, and we are going to be breaking all-time highs in the next coming months, right? We're not going to say weeks because this is looking at higher time frame. Well, without a doubt, you could build here a little bit of a swing long position, managing risk accordingly, okay? Not getting wrecked and not putting everything here on this long position. Just look to make some gains with a possible swing long. It's definitely a scenario because we do have the bullish case, right? Which is basically inside of this fourth wave. We have dipped beneath the A wave. We have hit the one-to-one extension. So this fourth wave could be bottoming out here somewhere in this range between, okay, $55,000 and $50,000. Right? This is when we take a look at Fibonacci from the wave 2 all the way up to the wave 3 high. Well, we've already hit the 382. This is kind of what is holding as support at the moment. And it is also a common target for a fourth wave. Most common targets for a fourth wave is in between the 382 Fibonacci and the 50% Fibonacci, right? And in this case, it's $54,800 to round about $49,000 range. This area, without a doubt, could be the zone where the price of Bitcoin could bottom out, speculating in this three-wave corrective structure. Okay, because yeah, no doubt that this does look very corrective compared to the impulsive moves that we've been forming during the last previous months, right? This movement to the downside is very corrective. And now we have the sign that we've dipped beneath the low here from the 1st of May, and we could bottom out here in this range, right? In between $56,000 and $50,000. So if you want to consider the bullish case scenario, and if it does recover, well, obviously it's a really nice, good swing long position that could take several months till it actually hits all-time high, right? I would expect this to take quite some time, and we're not going to recover to all-time high by next week, right? So without a doubt, okay, the bullish macro trend is still intact. Okay, very important to understand. Despite the FUD and the thumbnail and the clickbait, we do see some selling pressure. Mt. Gox, German government, a lot of fear in the market, and a lot of there's negative funding rate is also it's also grown massively. So funding rate is negative. Very, we have it over here. Let me just show you here the funding rate, which is extremely negative. I have it somewhere over here because I have the news and stuff and data ready for you guys. Yeah, there we well, also let's go through some news in the coming minutes. All right, we'll go through the news in the next coming minutes. I want to go through the comment section, say hello to the beautiful community. We can focus on Bitcoin on the lower time frames. What are the major levels of resistance and support as well? Most importantly, Mustafa, my man, road to 100k subs. Thank you, brother, for the insane support. First like, says 𝗲𝗏. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for the emotional support and mentorship you're providing us, says So What. Absolutely incredible. Thanks, So What, for the kind comment. Hopefully you're enjoying the education, the technical analysis, and also providing the latest data and news on cryptocurrency. Nikolai, hello. 𝗲𝗏𝗽. Igor, hello. 𝗖𝗿𝗆. Let BTC bleed so we can buy cheaper, right? Yes, sir. Smash the like, fam, says JP Media. Thank you very much for the support, my brother. Game Pro, how are you doing? Guys, Spain is playing in about 45 minutes from now, so I will call it an early live stream. I am from Spain, for anybody that doesn't know, and it's playing against Germany on the Euro Cup. I need to watch that game, legends. I'm not sure if you guys are watching the Euro Cup, but it's a very, very big game that is happening in about 45 minutes from now. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm going to be watching that, legends. Hopefully some of you guys are watching too. Watching Spain win Germany. Press and watch. Yellow Andy Mike, how are you doing? Thanks for joining. I'm 1000x long, says Picush Mandao. Yeah, without a doubt. Viva Portugal, Cosmo. Yeah, good luck to Portugal also in the quarterfinals in this Europe Cup. Me too, says Ariel. Let's go, let's go. I think it will be the last game for Germany, sadly. I'm German, says Jujet. Yeah, Spain has a very good team, but also Germany, right? It's going to be interesting, this match. It's very equal based on favorites, all right? They've got fantastic teams. I think it's going to be one of the best matches in the Euro Cup. Anyway, let's go dive in here through the local bullish case scenario, bearish case scenario levels to take into consideration. We're getting a little bit of a squeeze move to the upside, and just to give a little bit of hope to the bulls right there, there is just a very basic lower high resistance trend line that, in my opinion, needs to be broken. And if this lower high resistance trend line, it looks like a broadening wedge, right? A big descending broadening wedge right there that has a possibility in breaking out. Now, descending broadening wedge targets, right, when you take a look at textbook, is the width of the wedge, or even coming all the way up to the wedge right over here. In this case, that would be $64,000. I think we still need to remain a little bit patient, right? It's a little bit of a dead cat bounce. Bitcoin price has a lot of resistance to break, okay? And the first big major resistance on the higher time frames to break would be starting off with this lower high resistance trend line, and also taking a look at the session volume profile. Why the session volume profile? Well, if we start getting above the previous day value levels, then that will be a first sign of strength that the price could go to much higher levels. Let's just zoom in here, take a look at the session volume profile. Look how far away we have the previous day value level. I mean, we are coming close to that level. The previous day value area low is sitting right over here, okay, at the $57,200 range. Now, we have seen big major support there yesterday. $57,000 was big support. The moment the price does manage to break out here for, maybe in the next coming hours, maybe between today and tomorrow, if that we do see that breakout, that is going to be a nice sign of strength for the bulls to have the continuation to the upside on this recovery. And the main reason why the price could recover from here, this is something that we did talk about yesterday, about this possibly being 5 waves down, okay? Looking at Elliott wave theory, possibly, only because on some exchanges you did not hit the highs here on the 7th of June. Looking at this as a movement here, all right, in a 5-wave structure, possibly completing the C wave, all right? The main reason why you can count this as 5 waves down is because you did not take this high. Of course, if you want to analyze the situation, you could arguably just, you could count in a way, 5 waves down here. I prefer this one right over there, but also, could this be the end of that 5th wave, the end of this C wave, larger C wave, and the price is just going to start to recover in the next coming weeks? Absolutely yes. I need the price to recover massively from the lows of May, okay? The $56,500 range, okay, where we are currently testing right now. This is resistance. The price action needs to get a significant breakout from this area, and then depending on the retracement that happens, that will be the higher low to then get the next leg here to the upside. But first of all, I want to see that sign of strength, that breakout above this major level of resistance. First of all, breaking out lower high resistance trend line. That could give us, looking at the chart, a sign that, hey, maybe the price is going to be recovering in the next coming weeks. That would be the first sign right now from this major downtrend that we formed during the last few days. Getting above the previous day value area low, right? That is also very important. That means that we are breaking major resistance zones here locally. We have major support right there yesterday at $57,000. A nice breakout above this level with no doubt has a high chance to claim that lower high at $58,700, okay? So that would be a first sign of strength. We break out from this level. It's going to be looking very interesting for the bullish case, looking for that recovery in the next coming weeks. We're going to have to analyze very carefully how the price retraces down to this zone. If it is going to be in a 3-wave move structure, if it's going to be very choppy, forming a little bit of a wedgie, channel-y structure right there, then that is going to be a clear sign that the movement here to the upside, the recovery has been a nice breakout. And especially if we do see some volume kicking in, right? We want to see that volume reversal right there, volume kicking in on the breakout here. And then obviously volume decreasing on the movement to the downside, back down to the 57 to 56.5K zone. That would be the zone of interest here, without a doubt, for speculating for a recovery. Because if that were to be the case, then obviously you're looking for a first wave up here, and then you're speculating on a wave 2 right there, to then in the coming weeks, start getting very impulsive with a third wave. All right. For the moment, we're still downtrending. For all of those swing traders out there that wants to speculate onto some, swing long positions, I think it is pretty decent to get into a small long position here. I mean, small depending on your capital, right? Risking 1-2%, if you can stretch it to 3% if you get another leg down, so you can add a little bit to that position. But without a doubt, higher time frame, ABC, bullish case scenario, speculating that this is a wave 4 and we will be building a wave 5 in the next coming months, is definitely on the cards, guys. All right, because we have the fear greed index and at fear right now, which is really good. And we also have possibly some speculation that, hey, the German government has 40,000 Bitcoin. Are they going to sell everything? Right? They might sell another 5,000 or 10,000, or they might not be selling any more. For the moment, we have been seeing the aggressive selling pressure from them. Mt. Gox distributing the 140,000 Bitcoin, okay, since yesterday. And yeah, no doubt that a lot of those people will sell some of that Bitcoin. Not everybody is going to hold their Bitcoin, because all of those people that got into Mt. Gox bought Bitcoin at $600 on average, right? $500-$600. So if you suddenly getting those Bitcoin back and they valued, 100 times more, you probably want to sell some of that Bitcoin, right? So anyway, let's continue here. 54 likes. Like button is bearish, guys. Destroy the like button. Smash it up. If we do get to 500 likes, I'm doing a giveaway of a Trezor hardware wallet. We need to get to that 500 like. Okay, let's go right away. Fear time is buy time. Yes, sir. That is totally true. Totally true. I am personally not buying any more Bitcoin because I've already got a big stack of Bitcoin. I'm not selling. I am not buying. I would consider buying if we were to go down to, $30,000, $20,000 range, because that would be my average price zone that I've been buying here. And I would be happy to buy some more Bitcoin down there. I don't think that's going to be the case. I'm not going to sell here on this drop. I won't be selling at 50K. I won't be selling at 48K. I will not be selling any Bitcoin on the drop, okay? Diamond hands, let's hold on to that Bitcoin. If we do go lower, we're just going to have to hold on for a longer time, right? We're just going to have to hold on to those Bitcoin. But we do not sell on the fear. We do not sell as the price is moving down. If anything, we sell with the price moving to the upside, right? So not buying any Bitcoin. I would consider buying Bitcoin at the, sub $40,000. That I would consider start DCAing quite aggressively if the price were to get down there. But I'm definitely not selling on this drop, guys, without a doubt. No selling here. I'm interested in buying some altcoins. Chainlink is entering into the buying zone that I'm interested in. So yeah, Chainlink is one that I would consider to stack up right now, because we did get that wick here to the downside very nicely into the green box, getting a little bit of a bounce right now. It's already in the buying zone for DCAing, in my opinion. Okay, so overall would be interested in buying some Chainlink here in between, basically where we're at right now. We just back up here from the top of the box, but this is the DCAing zone that I'm interested. I haven't bought any Bitcoin at the moment, but will be Chainlink, sorry, but would be willing. I'm going to remain a little bit patient just to see we do have another leg down, because I've got a big bag of Chainlink already. So I am sure Spain will win, says Elminio. Yes, absolutely. So we do have a bull. At what price you end up selling at the top in the end? Look, I will never sell all of my Bitcoin. This is a fact. I never sold all of my Bitcoin that I bought in 2018, 19, and 20 over here. I only sold 25% of my entire crypto portfolio except for Chainlink exactly right over here. On this bounce, as soon as we got this breakdown, breaking the market structure on this distribution event, because this was very clearly a distribution event, on this bounce is where I sold 25% of everything, around about $50,000 to $55,000 Bitcoin. That is when I sold, because I was buying Bitcoin at $5,000, $6,000, $8,000, okay, during 2018 to 2020. This is the moment that I sold. So it really depends on what kind of market structure is developed. All right, there's no major target zone of where am I going to sell Bitcoin. Breaking all-time high, I would consider maybe selling 5% of my Bitcoin, right? Just getting to $80,000, right? Breaking above $75,000, I would consider selling a little bit of the Bitcoin right there. Okay, but overall, never selling everything. I will always have Bitcoin inside of my wallet. Okay, even though if the price goes to $200,000 in 2025, I will never sell everything. I will sell a stack without a doubt. Okay, but when we take a look at these, possible projections, because we do have the cup and handle, right? Who's been seeing this around, right? Cup and handle, big major cup and handle right over here. And without a doubt, this definitely has a chance. Okay, this could be a reaccumulation stage. Anybody that is not aware of a cup and handle pattern, it's basically the handle is a reaccumulation stage that happens, right? You have the major handle right over here, and then it has the breakout, and the breakout can be extremely explosive. Without a doubt, I would be speculating on this scenario happening. When we take a look at the width of the cup, the breakout where the handle is, okay? And I would be using Fibonacci expansion when you take a look at the previous all-time high to the low, right? I would say that the 1.618, which is exactly at $100,000 Bitcoin, would be, and this is going to be a hard nut to crack, guys. The $100,000 level is a psychological number. A lot of people will be willing to sell Bitcoin, and this is going to be a hard nut to crack. You're going to get some major rejections at that level, some big major rejections, because it's a round psychological number. And yeah, without a doubt that is not going to just slice through like butter, okay, like a hot knife on butter. This will unlikely happen, and it's also the 1.618 extension from this massive round formation, right, counting the bear market and the bull run. But overall, the cup and handle target is just slightly above the $120,000. Bitcoin above $100,000. I am personally going to sell some, without a doubt. I've been buying Bitcoin since 2018, and we need to sell some, right? This is an investment, and without a doubt, if the investment is in some pretty insane profits, without a doubt, I would be selling some. So breaking all-time high, I would sell around 5% of my portfolio. And if we do get to $100,000 to $120,000, I would be aggressively selling around about 20% or 25% or around those areas, okay? Never selling everything, just in case we do get a massive super cycle. Iman, how are you doing? How about alts? Would you sell when buying coin around 80K? The altcoin, the cycle of all, for Chainlink, for example, I have a strategy, and that in Chainlink, I believe will be reaching all-time high. Okay, my strategy for Chainlink is that I'm not going to sell any Chainlink till we hit $100. But I'm starting to have a bit of a too big bag here on Chainlink, and I already would consider selling some Chainlink at all-time high whenever this happens, right? Maybe it's going to be next year, maybe it will be in 2028. This is a long-term investment, okay? So once it breaks all-time high, I would consider DCAing out, 5-10%, okay, on the movement to the upside, without a doubt, because I've got a scary Chainlink bag that I just, it's too big. It's bigger than I expected. So you need to find different strategies for your altcoins, without a doubt. Nice explanation, Nathan. You're very much welcome. You're very much welcome. Yeah, we need to DCA it out, guys. We never know where the high is going to be, but we know that Bitcoin has an exponential growth. Okay, when we talked about the adoption chart compared to the internet, Bitcoin is moving much faster than the adoption of internet, right, from the early 90s. we're going to see over 1 billion users using in the next 4 to 5 years. Over 1 billion people in the world will be actually using Bitcoin, right? It's around about 500 people, 500 million people at the moment. That is going to double in the next, give or take 4 years or so, maybe sooner, as right now adoptions, on social media and internet, grow much faster. So that may be even faster. Okay, let's take a look here at Render is a decent buy in right now. Yeah, Render, no doubt. AI cryptos, take them into consideration without a doubt. Render right now, Render, interestingly enough, yeah, we talked about Render hitting this level. I'm not sure if I do have another chart here. Render, we talked about Render, all right, getting all the way up to this exact level of $13.50. This is when we were consolidating at the all-time high just a few months ago. And that was purely based with the expansion. When you get the Fibonacci tool and you go to the all-time high of Render, right, the previous all-time high, and you come all the way down here to the lows, you can see how we've been hitting the 1.618 here at round about $13. We talked about that on a previous live stream a few months ago when we were just about hitting all-time high, expecting that expansion level here to round about $13-14, and that is where we got the rejection. Render right now, I don't like this chart at all, guys. I really don't like it. We're looking at the previous all-time high on Render. I really do not like it, right? It's kind of a very, very, this does look like already that the bull market cycle on Render, and it's just going to enter a bear market. I really don't like seeing these altcoins that have broken all-time high because it just doesn't look good. It does not look good. But anyway, 𝗕𝗏𝗍, how are you doing, my brother, guys? If you haven't checked out 𝗕𝗏𝗍, go and check him out. He is in the comment section. He provides insane alpha technical analysis every single day on his YouTube channel. Go and check him out. He is in the comment section right now. Let's take a look at some news, guys. Some interesting news. On-chain data confirms this is the second largest liquidation event, and this is something that is making me bullish. This is something that I like to see on the data, right? Data is fantastic because you realize that a reversal could be very, very close. On-chain data confirms this is the second largest liquidation event for Bitcoin in its entire history, right after the FTX collapse. We know what happened on the FTX collapse. Well, basically, it was the bottom for Bitcoin. This was the largest liquidation event, okay? The price of Bitcoin going from $20,000 all the way down to 15.5. That was only a $4,500 drop, right? Drops like that in the past of $2,000, $3,000 were massive. And right now, $5,000, $10,000 drop for Bitcoin is the new normal, right? It's the new normal. So having this event, this big major, the second largest liquidation event in history of Bitcoin, which the first one did indicate the bottom, and right now we're having the second largest one, is, it's something alarming. It's something to take into consideration. Most of the people are bearish, and we have a lot of people calling for much lower levels in the next coming months, right? We have the FUD, we have the German government selling, Mt. Gox distributing the Bitcoin to their investors. It's a nice, healthy, corrective move, right? Let's keep it that way. Taiwan's second largest telecom operator gets virtual asset license and may be opening its own cryptocurrency exchange in Taiwan, guys. They have over 10 million customers. Definitely bullish, definitely good sign here. Mass adoption. It's inevitable that the recovery for Bitcoin, whether it goes to $40,000 or not, is inevitable. 600 million Bitcoin, okay, $600 million worth of Bitcoin longs have been liquidated in the last 24 hours. Again, we got a major drop in the last 24 hours. We also have Mt. Gox moves 47,000 plus Bitcoin, all right, from cold storage to a new wallet. So there is some movements right there, distributing to their old investors. Mt. Gox sells 1.5k Bitcoin 32 minutes ago. This was a post from today. So, there is a little bit of selling pressure coming on that side. But this is going to end at some point, right? This will end. There's still a large amount of Bitcoin, and still we're going to see some Bitcoin out of those wallets being sold, but that inevitably will come to an end for the huge, massive recovery. Following Bitcoin whales in futures market would still yield alpha until the market becomes spot driven. For now, relatively small whales are opening long positions. So we're not seeing big amount of whales, okay, entering into some long positions. Only on Coinbase, right? Some whales of Coinbase have stepped in, okay, to counter the bears. We are seeing a little bit of, a bit of volume kicking in here on Coinbase to basically stop this major downtrend. Funding rates have turned extremely negative. So we do have a huge amount of, selling pressure as well on the futures exchanges, right? Funding rates are turning extremely negative. Last couple of times that we did see this, we did get a big fat bounce. We had one here in April, as you can see, huge, massive recovery. And we also had one here back in May, right? We had these big recoveries when funding rates turned negative. We saw big recoveries on the price of Bitcoin. So yeah, we've seen funding rate going extremely negative. Without a doubt, this will end up at some point. We have Plan B saying that despite that the government, German government is selling 50,000 Bitcoin, and we have Mt. Gox giving 142,000 Bitcoin to their investors. He says that, however, I see nothing in the data that indicates structural weakness in Bitcoin markets. Okay, so yeah, with his stock to flow module, okay, he sees that the price is very much in a very healthy trend, and he's a macro analyst. Okay, so obviously if Bitcoin drops to 40k, he's going to say the same thing, right, as well. So this is just looking at the macro events. As the price of Ethereum drops, many whales are about to face liquidations of Ethereum deposited in Aave and Compound. We have these DeFi products, all right, that are in a massive loss, and whales are actually, backing their losses, and they transferring huge amount of Ethereum, over 28,000 Ethereum right now in the last 2 hours. This was posted today. So we got a lot of Ethereum transfers right there from the whales to back up those selling pressure. Not much more has to be said here on the news side, guys. Soon time to 120k, says here some guy that I cannot read his name. So yeah, in 10 years it will be millions, says Mac Flash. 10 years is way too far. Trust me, Bitcoin will hit $100,000 before the end of this year. Wow, absolutely wonderful. Yeah, I hope so. I would be willing to sell a bit of Bitcoin, okay? Just a little bit of Bitcoin, just in case. We never know what's around the corner based on a massive crash. Okay, so without a doubt, I've been buying Bitcoin massively during the last few years, and I'm tired. I want to take some profits, and no doubt if Bitcoin gets to 100k, I'll probably sell a couple of Bitcoin without a doubt, right? We need to take those profits. So yes, legends, gonna wrap it up. Spain is playing in 20 minutes against Germany. Quick, nice, short live stream. Make sure to destroy the like button. Make sure to check out the exchanges down below. I know a lot of people are not willing to do KYC on the different exchanges. I use Bybit, of course. I like Bybit, but also Bluffing. I've been testing it out. Bitcoin's getting a pretty nice pump. For all of those people, swing long positions is kind of acceptable, right? With this drop to build up acceptable zone, just purely based on that ABC corrective move. Not much locally that we mentioned. Focused more on day trade and scalping, okay? But however, looking at this price action on the higher time frame, this is the zone where the price of Bitcoin should bottom out for a massive recovery based on the higher time frame market structure. Check out the link, guys, of Bluffing. It's no KYC platform. Anybody that is willing to trade on any other platform and you haven't signed up to Bluffing, it's a no KYC. You have the largest bonus available with my link in the description, okay? $80,000 worth of bonus. It's a deposit bonus. The more you trade and deposit, then the more bonuses you're going to get to your futures exchange. And just with an email and a password, you can start trading on Bluffing. Legends, Spain, let's go. Spain for the win. Let's see. A por todas, says Esther. Let's see if Spain can win the quarterfinals and go to the semifinals. Legends, thank you very much, and I will see you tomorrow.